Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, dogs, and cats, and welcome back to your favorite series on YouTube. Every State Independent and Hearts of Iron 4, welcome back everybody. This is the second to last episode, and obviously that means next episode will be our last episode. I really would like this series to end on episode 20. This is episode 19 right now, so we're on our way. Before we start, I would like to again thank all my patrons, the Mad King, Rodney, Samuel Bjornson, Jeremy Houston, and Infinitum Gamer. And of course, my amazing sponsor, Voidu. You can get really cheap Steam keys over there, and for other places too, like Origin. They actually have a deal going on right now, where if you use the code SCHOOLSOUT, that's just schools out, no capitals or anything, no spaces, you get an extra 20% off everything site-wide. So if you have really wanted to get those couple of extra Hearts of Iron 4 expansions that you just haven't bought yet, you can get 20% off right now if you go to voidu.com. Make sure to use my link in the description because it'll help me out a bit. If you would like to become a patron of mine, make sure you also check that out in the description. All right, boys, I think we're ready. Wow, there's a lot of guys here. As you can see, we have our 9,773 errors. That's about right, about spot on. Welcome back, guys. I'm, first of all, sorry that it has taken a while for this episode to come out. A little bit of life has gotten into the way, but I'm really inspired right now, and I would really like to get back into the groove of things, a video every other day. It's gonna happen, boys. You just wait. So what's going on in this game right now? Well, we have Croatia invading Transcaucasia, aka Ukraine. And I believe for the fourth time, that means there is going to be a battle for the state of Kastamonu. Croatia's troops are lining up, getting ready. Oh, and the city of Kastamonu was just retreated from by Croatia's forces, and it looks like... Oh, okay, Croatia got forces there in time. But it does look like it is under siege from Ukraine, and it actually was pushed, so there we go. Ukraine has official control over the state of Kastamonu minus one province. But troops are literally dumping down here, and we're going to have a really big battle to see who will control this area. But right now, it's pretty obvious who's winning up in the north. Croatia is taking everything. As you can see, most of Ukraine's troops are not even here. They're just, most of them were down here when they were defending from Ethiopia, which is another big thing that's happening right now. Empire of the Lion is going to be ripped pretty soon. This is a really long front line, probably one of the longest we've seen, aside from maybe the one that went all the way from northern Finland all the way down to Greece that one time. Another major war that we have going on right now is Indochina versus Manchuria. You guys, I'm sure, are familiar with this war. As you can see, Indochina has made major moves, and the majority of Manchuria itself has been captured. So it's just going to keep moving its capital until it surrenders. We do have an apparent Indochina victory here coming soon. Although Manchuria is going to do really well against Ukraine again, because all of their troops have pulled out of the front with Manchuria to go fight Croatia. So they might have some victories up in Siberia, but I don't really think that's going to help. The real threat is from Indochina. And of course, we have one of our last major wars in the Americas before we have a united Americas. Federal Republic of Central America has been holding these lines for so long and doing such a good job. And look at this. Alabama, or should I say Canada, look at how ill-supplied their troops are compared to Federal Republic of Central America's troops. In fact, I bet you Central America could probably push Alabama back north, even though they have an insane 18 divisions on like almost every province. The story's not the same in the south with Peru, Bolivia, and there are 34 divisions on the border. They are fully supplied, but there are 7 divisions on the tiny choke point in Panama. So I believe unless Federal Republic of Central America gets navally invaded, they are totally safe. And look at this, they have naval superiority everywhere. They have 25 ships, which means they've probably been sinking others' ships. What does Peru's navy look like? 16 ships. They have a smaller navy, and they're keeping it down in the south. Alabama's navy is 20 ships, but they just don't seem to be kept. They're not seeming to be kept anywhere near the front line. So the state that actually spawned Ukraine has been taken by Croatia. It was actually right on the border, so it wasn't too hard for them to take. Although their new capital is down here in Georgia, because they have rebranded to Unitary Transcaucasia. It is very devastating to lose your original state that this whole empire spawned from. Manchuria is attempting to hold Vladivostok from the advancing Indo-Chinese forces, although it does look like... Did they navally invade, or did they just get cut off? Something like that happened. Checking Central America versus Alabama's supply. This is Central America's supply. The only thing they're missing is motorized, but they have hundreds of thousands of infantry equipment. tens of thousands of support equipment, thousands of artillery, and plenty of other things. Let's check Alabama's, though. Oh, they have plenty. Why are their troops so ill-supplied? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, okay, this was coming. This was definitely coming. We have the surrender of Ukraine. Oh my god, what did they do to the borders? No! They declared war on Empire of the Lion, right? Whoa, no, they didn't. Croatia declared war on Manchuria. Okay. This is definitely the worst thing that's happened this whole game. Why? Like, why did they give him half? Oh, they gave him all of Mongolia, but it's just occupied by Indochina right now. Holy god, that is terrible. Anyways, rest in peace. Jeez, I'm just stunned by that. Rest in peace, Ukraine. I want to see Fs, just like usual, boys. Thousands of them. Please. The Fs have been amazing. Let's see more. But yeah, so now we're watching Croatia's continued hell march now against Manchuria. I would have figured they would have gone against Empire of the Lion because it would have just been so easy to gather up all these territories that are so close to them. And they would have probably gotten all of the Middle East. But I guess not. We have one guy from Maghreb moving in and taking Palestine. So since Vladivostok has fallen, what is Manchuria's new capital? Oh, it's up here. Yakutsk is their new capital. Oh my god. It's just been revealed how much territory Empire of the Lion was actually given in Asia. It was just all under occupation of Indochina for a bit there. That is absolutely disgusting, and the AI should be ashamed of itself. Or I don't know if it's really the AI's fault. Maybe it's the mod maker's fault or the game creators. Maybe it's my fault for not putting on an AI, for not putting an AI, like a better Peace Conference AI mod on. But holy shit, that is terrible. And I apologize, personally. Well, Ireland's army is quite destroyed. They have down to 11 divisions to East Anglia's probably 64. I was gonna say near 100. Does that mean that Ireland's sort of like coastal raiding days are probably over? They have 14 ships, and those ships aren't gonna get sunk unless those aren't Croatians. Unless East Anglia builds up their fleet more than just 2 ships, which they're not making. Oh no, they're making them. They're making 4 a year. So at this rate, we'll probably see East Anglia get naval dominance eventually, and then and be able to invade Ireland, because Ireland literally has very, very few divisions. Okay, looks like we have Iguacu, which apparently it's actually pronounced Iguazu. Thank you in the comments, by the way. I'm going to start calling it Iguazu, how it's supposed to be called, because it's Portuguese. Portuguese is weird. They've annexed the Windward Islands, a empire that spanned basically all these minor Caribbean islands. Somehow they were able to take them over, and now they're at war with Puerto Rico. So these independent sort of like Caribbean islands are now under siege from Iguazu, which is quite interesting, because Iguazu is sort of this forgotten superpower of this game. They're in South America. They're not as strong as Peru, Bolivia, so we've sort of been writing them off. But they're here. They have a bigger army than quite a lot of other countries that are around still. They don't have the factories. But if they were to unite with Peru, Bolivia, the country that would come out of this would be pretty strong. I don't think anything can really compete with Croatia's factory count at this point. Over 3,000 total, but in military, just 1.5 thousand factories. Jeez, I had a burp there, sorry. But I do think Iguazu has something in store for us later on. I'm just not sure what it is. We have... Okay, look at this, boys. I believe it's actually happening. The Federal Republic of Central America is actually pushing back Alabama, because I think it's just because of poor infrastructure. But these states are not allowing, or Alabama is not supplying their troops, even though they have plenty of supply. Oh, you know what it is? I'm an idiot. It's manpower. They have 0 manpower. These divisions... They have supply, they just have no manpower. Why isn't Alabama upgrading their manpower? They're on service by requirement, that would make sense. And they look like they're having political power problems. So these divisions have, like, nobody fighting in them. They're just super weak and ineffective. And Central America is going to start pushing back with their very, very small army, 90 divisions. Actually, we're starting to see the same issue with Maghreb People's Republic. They have ran out of manpower as well. They are on all adults serve. Empire of the Lion, on the other hand, has very well equipped divisions, 6 million manpower. They're also on all adult serve, so they're kind of on their last legs here with manpower as well until this runs out. Could Empire of the Lion make a comeback and actually kill off Maghreb? But I think our previous estimates were correct about what's going to happen in the old world. Essentially, we're going to have the 2 superpowers, Croatia and Indochina, duke it out in the end, and it's going to be fantastic. I actually have no idea who's going to win. Both of these countries are extremely overpowered, have only won. They've defeated countries that are actually stronger than them. They've overcome so much. But I don't know. put in the comments as well as all those Fs for Ukraine. I guess if you're Team Indochina or Team Croatia, I don't know. That sounds. Do you guys remember like back when Twilight was big and like I think Burger King had like promotions where you could get like the Edward toy or the whatever the other guy's name was toy, and people would be like, I'm Team Edward or I'm Team whatever his name was. And that's kind of what like this is. This is a lot less cringy, or I mean, it might be cringy, but not to us at least. As we can see over here in the Middle East and Egypt, actually, we have Egypt is being retaken by Ethiopia from Maghreb. If you guys remember just a little bit ago, I showed you that Maghreb was actually advancing into Palestine, but they've since been pushed, and it looks like there's a possibility for quite the encirclement of Maghreb's forces in southern Egypt. Or I guess that might be central Egypt, I'm not sure. So I stepped off for a second, and look at this. What is going on? Could it be real? Could it be actually happening? Federal Republic of Central America actually kicking Alabama's butt? I mean, I think it's going to get harder and harder for them as they move north, because they don't have the same amount of divisions that Alabama has. But Alabama, what are you doing? Oh, they have... Okay. Oh, thanks for the subscribe, WDJ. I appreciate it. We actually have official... Canada or Alabama officially has less divisions than our friends, Federal Republic of Central America. Also, another major turn of events over here in Egypt. All of a sudden, Maghreb is doing really good in Egypt, and a bunch of Ethiopia's troops were surrounded and are being killed off now. These wars just go back and forth, guys. It's really hard to make predictions. How close is Manchuria to capitulating, though? That's kind of what I would like to see. Also, wait, let's check this really quick. Okay. This is extremely high for a war in this game. 5.5 million Canadian/Alabama casualties to 500,000 Federal Republic of Central Americans. Also, an additional 761,000 dead Peru-Bolivians. So, Federal Republic of Central America has a positive kill ratio against Peru-Bolivia on their own. But then it has like a factor of 10, 11 times more kills. For every one Central American killed, like 11 Canadians have been killed. That is incredible. But I would like to see how far Manchuria is to capitulating. Oh, they're really close, guys. They are 95% towards capitulation. So, and when they lose a couple more states, they're done. And they're being attacked from every corner. We actually now have Central Americans freely walking through Texas, and they're about to enter Louisiana, which is, guys, very close to Alabama's capital. They're now only positive in land gain, except for against Peru, which Peru's actually now taking even more land down in Panama, but they don't seem to be pushing or trying at all. This would be an extremely costly attack anyways. Alright, also, Iguazu has now declared war on Hispaniola, which means they've taken over Puerto Rico. So, congratulations. Iguazu is freezing up every once in a while here, guys. This is a very CPU-intensive game. Oh, that would be why. Okay, we have Indochina, 46 states. That means Manchuria just died. Yeah, they took most of it. Croatia took 8. Guys, F for Manchuria. Holy shit. Okay, tell you what about Manchuria. They did really well for a long time. I mean, it was really not that fair, their war against Indochina. Indochina was an insanely powerful country that came out of nowhere, whereas Manchuria was always there. They were always a really strong Chinese country. They were probably the strongest Chinese country aside from Guangdong. Hashtag rip Guangdong. Guys, F for Manchuria, F for Ukraine. Jeez. But now they're both going after Empire of the Lion. That was to be expected. And of course, Iguazu has now declared war on Hispaniola. But boys, I do think that this means Kastamonu will be safe, probably for the rest of the game, unless Croatia ends up losing to Indochina. Jesus, guys, look at this. I mean, we were basically just waiting for Central America to die, and now they've destroyed the entire Alabama. 14 divisions, Alabama! You have so much equipment. Why are you not... Is this a bug or something? Can you guys really help me? Please, guys, help me explain to me why they did not supply their divisions. I'm really confused as to why, because if it was just infrastructure, I mean, I'm sure that they'd be able to supply themselves on their own country. It was understandable that maybe the infrastructure down here in, like, northern Mexico would be a little bit rough, but Jesus, Canada is gonna die. We have kind of a race between Indochina and Croatia right now to see who can capture the most of Empire of the Lion's sort of colonial territories. Most of it's definitely going to go to Croatia, though, because Indochina just doesn't have access to it. And I guess that means that once Indochina doesn't have any more access to Empire of the Lion's territories, they're probably going to declare war on someone. the last one that they really border is Croatia. I guess they could declare war on Koshinetsu, but that would be quite the stretch. They do have 87 divisions, so that would be kind of tough to take over, but most of them are up here in Hokkaido trying to siege, actually Hokkaido, which is still alive. So Canada has moved their capital to Quebec, and Alabama has fallen quite a while ago, actually. In fact, wow, they were going to take Florida, but then they decided, you know what, screw Florida, we don't need it. One thing I've noticed really quick before Federal Republic of Central America actually capitulates Alabama, Canada, they've responded really well with division count. If you guys remember, they were just at 90 divisions. Since have doubled it, 183. So they've captured all of Canada's amazing amounts of factories. They have just established themselves in the matter of minutes as a contender for the winner of this whole game. Isn't that insane? And there we have it, boys. Federal Republic of Central America annexed 60 states from the Canadian People's Republic. Who would have saw that coming? I mean, literally this episode, I was expecting Central America to die this episode from being under siege from both sides for so long. But for some reason, Canada/Alabama just flushed their army down the toilet, quality-wise, and let Central America just do their thing. So, F for Alabama/Canada, but, I mean, do they really deserve our Fs? Because, you know, our Fs really only go to countries that really, like, earned it. I mean, Canada/Alabama kind of flushed that all down the toilet. I think we need to say L for Canada. We need to hand Canada some Ls, or at least anyone who's watching that lives in Central America that wants to hand Canada an L in the comments, please do. I think that they deserve it. I'm sorry, Canadian viewers. This isn't an insult towards you, or an insult to anyone who lives in Alabama. Obviously, neither of those places. Anyone who lives in those places had nothing to do with this. The AI just totally screwed up today. And I invite everyone to give an L to Canada/Alabama. Your new overlord is based in, I think, oh, it's okay. So it's based in Guerrero, which is kind of cool. Anyways, boys, thank you for watching. If you liked this episode, make sure to leave a like, favorite, and subscribe if you guys are new. Please check out Voidu. I would really appreciate it if you would. You get a 20% off discount right now off of everything. If you go ahead and use discount code SCHOOLSOUT, get 20% off everything site-wide. The place is already super cheap, so please check it out. Buy yourselves some goddamn Hearts of Iron 4 expansions. Finally. I mean, like, how long is it going to be? How long is it going to be until you buy these things? You've had the base game for so long. You've only been able to play the expansions when you play multiplayer. Why don't you have them yourselves? Finally. Jeez. Anyways, boys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, which is going to be the final one. Peace.